Hello everyone, my name is Hassan Ahmed and I'm a sales engineer here at QBuild Software. Before we start delving into the demo, we're excited to introduce you to QBuild. We're the industry leader in integrating engineering software to ERP, providing customer-centric service to over 2,000 discrete manufacturers. We partner with 50 plus engineering and ERP systems. We're an international company with offices around the globe. QSuite, our comprehensive solution suite, includes CADLink, ECX Manager, Nestlink, and more. We empower our customers with streamlined processes and significant cost savings, ensuring efficiency and accuracy every step of the way. Today, we're going to be demoing CADLink for SOLIDWORKS to Dynamics 365 ERP. Before we start, let's take a look at a quick overview of not implementing CADLink. As you can see from the process chart, manual data input is time-consuming and causes errors. With CADLink, you can see that this improves this process, as well as reduces the time spent on the manual data entry, updating and creating those items and BOMs automatically with just a click of a button. Now, let's jump into the demo. Here you can see I have a SOLIDWORKS model open. Just for the purpose of this demo, let's assume I'm an engineer and I've just finished making some changes or designing this model. And now I want those changes to reflect in my Dynamics 365. In order to do so, I'm just going to navigate up to the tools bar and click on CADLink. Once I launch CADLink, it's going to do a real-time comparison using the part number as a unique identifier to compare the items and bill of materials from my SOLIDWORKS model to Dynamics 365. The screen we see now is the CADLink interface. At this point in time, CADLink has not pushed anything into Dynamics. It's first giving the user a chance to review and validate the data. CADLink will only push the data once the save button is clicked. As you can see, it's grayed out right now, and we'll get to why that is very shortly. If we go over to the left-hand side here, we can see that CADLink has kept the multi-level assembly structure as seen in our SOLIDWORKS model. CADLink has also displayed a bunch of colors on the grid. These colors are results of the comparison once CADLink compared the items from SOLIDWORKS to Dynamics 365. Let's get into what those colors mean. Starting off with a white row. A white indicates that the parts already exist in Dynamics 365 and are identical to the SOLIDWORKS model. Within those white rows, we do have these yellow highlights. These are field level discrepancies. Upon doing the comparison, CADLink found that the part number exists in Dynamics, but for example, the description here is different. If we right click on that description, we can actually see what that discrepancy is. From here, I can do a couple of things. I can either select my SOLIDWORKS model data or my Dynamics 365 data. Or alternatively, I can type in my own. And once I hit save, this will bi-directionally push it both into Dynamics as well as back to my SOLIDWORKS model, keeping that data in sync. Next, we have these green line items. These are new items that are in your SOLIDWORKS model, but were not found in Dynamics 365. Upon hitting save, CADLink will create this item record in Dynamics as well as insert that item into this BOM, saving you that two-step process. Next, we have these gray lines. Gray lines indicate items that are not modeled on my SOLIDWORKS model, but are in my Dynamics 365 bill of materials. Upon hitting save, what CADLink will do is actually remove this item from this bill of materials to keep that data in sync. It will not delete the item record, it will simply remove it out of this BOM. These gray line items could be a result of a design change or the part number simply being obsolete. The last color, which we don't see on screen yet, is a CADLink feature called manual parts. If I right click here, I can add the manual part. These are parts that are not modeled on your SOLIDWORKS model but are needed on the BOM for Dynamics 365. These items could be consumables such as paint, glue, fasteners, or user manuals. If I click on this white box within the blue row here, I can search through my Dynamics 365 database and find the part that I'm looking for. Once I select the part, CADLink will auto-populate the rest of the fields as it is set up in Dynamics 365. If we move over to the right here, we do have some ERP Specific Fields. These are drop-downs that are pulled in directly from your Dynamics 365 database. These fields are important for green line items because certain fields do have to be filled out in order to match what's required in Dynamics 365 before creating a new item. If we keep scrolling to the right here, we can see there's some additional fields for raw material. Now, CADLink gives you the ability to add this raw material the exact same way that we added the manual parts, by right-clicking here and clicking Add Material. Once we do that, CADLink will open up the Dynamics 365 database to search for that raw material. Once we select the one we want, CADLink will populate the rest of the fields for us. The only thing I have to do now is select the quantity. Moving on to the right here, we do have some additional information that is useful for the CADLink user. Starting off with the BOM Changes tab. This is a read-only tab that gives the user the information on what changes CADLink is making in Dynamics 365 upon hitting save. These changes can be exported into Excel if the user wants to keep a record of them. Another tab we have is the CAD Properties tab. This is another read-only tab that gives you information about your SOLIDWORKS model. So without having to switch back and forth between CADLink and SOLIDWORKS, you can actually look at all the SOLIDWORKS custom configuration properties right here in this tab. The last tab is the Messages tab, and this is a very important tab because this will help you validate your data. As you can see, my save button up here is grayed out. The reason it's grayed out is because there's a validation error in my data. So CADLink is not a blind push tool. It's going to make sure that all the data on the interface and the SOLIDWORKS model agrees with the rules of Dynamics 365 before pushing the data over. If I click on any of these messages, CADLink will let me know where that validation error is taking place. Once I address these error messages, you can see that my save button is now enabled. When hitting the save button, CADLink will create these new items, update this bill of materials, and sync any discrepancies to Dynamics 365 ERP. At this point in time, the engineer's job is now done, and it's been done with a click of a button through CADLink. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I hope this video was helpful. If you have any more questions, or want to see a live demo to see how CADLink can fit your environment, please visit our website and book a live demo with us today. If you found this helpful, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Also, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for more updates. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.